Welcome to our October giving event. We're so happy to have all of you here. Welcome to our visitors, the nonprofit representatives. And we want to, my name is Ann Morgan, and I'm hosting tonight with Susie Cotter, Tammy Grossman, Tina Bouquet. I love that you have name tags and are right in front of me. Barb Brownman, Beth Bowers in the back, and many more. You saw the registration helpers, the ambassadors, and there's a lot of people behind the scenes too that help us make these events possible every quarter. So thank you to everybody. We want to do a shout out to Yenny Bexel of Spot. Yenny's been with us since day one, and because of her, we don't have to charge any membership fees, and 100% of our donations go to the awards. And yeah. And also a shout out to the Door County Community Foundation. They facilitate our payment processing, and there's some really important things that enables us to do. One, people can pay by credit card, and they can also, it allows for us to send one or two checks to the nonprofits as opposed to the nonprofit having to process hundreds of checks. So it relieves an administrative burden for them as well. So thank you to the Door County Community Foundation. So our agenda tonight, we are going to hear the nonprofit presentations and vote, have a business update, and hear from Rob Holtz. I think some of you might have met Radar and Percy, who came with Rob today. So he'll give us an update on how they use their award that they received in, I think it was April of 2023. And then we'll have the drawing for the next quarter and announce awards. Our goal is to connect like-minded women to make a meaningful impact in our community. And our primary goal is to raise money to support local nonprofits, right? And this is tied together with our core values, community first, supporting our community. I invite you to look on our website to learn more about our core values. So tonight, the people presenting are passionate and excited to tell you about the nonprofits they're presenting. So please give them your full attention, big rounds of applause. And with that, I'd like to introduce Patty O'Rourke, Literacy Door County. Welcome, Patty.
Thank you very much. We're going to dive right in. 54% of adults are educated below a 6th grade level. More than 20% of Americans 18 and older are illiterate. Does that surprise you? It surprised me when I learned those facts and figures. I am Patty O'Rourke, and some of you may be thinking, I know her from somewhere. When I retired from Big Brothers Big Sisters of Door County, I was the coordinator for many years. When I retired last year, I was asked by a small but very dedicated group of volunteers to help them with community outreach and fundraising, and to help raise awareness for their mission to share the power of learning English through education. Education, that hit home with me. I am a retired teacher in addition to a retired nonprofit worker. And as a child, my parents struggled because they had no education. My father had to leave school after he barely got through 8th grade to work on the family farm. My mother was the oldest of 7 children. The 2 youngest were twins, 2 years old when my grandmother passed away. So my mother had to take over as mother to her siblings. In addition, they were sharecroppers down south, And she always estimated on all those awful forms, she would say, when you have to put down your level of education, she would cry and say 4th grade. So education is near and dear to my heart. And this organization, I hope, will become near and dear to yours. Literacy Door County was established in 2015 to provide one-on-one tutoring to any adult in Door County. That's something else I learned. It's not just non-English speaking adults that we tutor, but any adult hoping to improve their reading and writing skills. And our tutors teach what students want to learn. This might be for job training or for getting a better job. It might be for a GED, those that never were able to get that high school education. It might be for a driver's license. It might be to help fill out a loan application for school or for a small business of their own, or it might be for citizenship. So there are lots of reasons that we have tutors and students in Literacy Door County. Our board, as I said, and our tutors are all volunteers. There's no paid staff in the organization. And we provide training, ongoing curriculum, and support to tutors and students. At the state level, Literacy Door County is a member of Wisconsin Literacy. And at the federal level, we're a member of Pro Literacy. So we have a large network that we can reach out to. Even though we are a small organization, we can reach out all over the state and the country to others when we need help. Our tutors work with their students one-on-one in public places, typically meeting 1 or 2 times a week for an hour to an hour and a half. We recently began a very special program that I'm excited about with Thermotronics. And we're meeting 3 times a week with employees there that are Ukrainian. Our tutors pay $25 for their initial training and portfolio, and students pay $20 for their application fee and their beginning materials. Your donation tonight will help update our curriculum that desperately needed to be updated since 2015, and we'll be purchasing new materials for our tutors and students. And we recently decided that we'll be purchasing Oxford Picture Dictionaries to be given to each tutor and student for use during their lessons and at home. 2 years ago, we also established a student award for bilingual high school students, giving a $500 award to a graduate at each school district. This is in part sponsored by our Scrabble tournament. And I have to mention that it's coming up November 9th at Stone Harbor, cash prizes and food and raffles. And if you're interested in participating, if you are a word nerd, please see me afterwards. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Sally Ludwig, who is the current president of the board of Literacy Door County.
So if anybody has any questions, we do have a mic that's going around, and just remember that we are recording everything so that, and we have to speak into the microphone so that people on the webinar can hear us, or the Zoom. So go ahead.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
How many volunteers do you have, and how long do they typically work with a typical student?
I have to say at first that we really don't have a typical student. It varies so much. We have students that come to us from other countries that have anywhere from no education in their home country to having university degrees. I have a current student that has a college education. He's got a degree in agronomy. So it varies. And like Patty said, we work with what the student wants. But we currently have probably between 25 and 30 pairs of students and tutors. And some last for 6 months, some last for years. I had a student that I worked with for over 3 years. And I'm happy to say he's pretty literate right now. Yes.
You have to put in the mic, or you have to.
I volunteered in Green Bay for the Literacy Council, and our typical things seem to be about 2 years. So that kind of fits with your range up here.
Mhm.
Very good. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm wondering where, from a geographic perspective, where do the people you serve come from throughout our county?
The entire county. We have students that come from Fish Creek, from Southern Door, and anywhere in between. And we are fortunate that we have some of our tutors that are from Northern Door, and we like to match them up with the students that are located further north. So
Beth also wanted to know how many students.
we have, like I said, somewhere between 25 and 30.
Do you have translators to help when there's a language barrier?
Well, typically with our immigrants, there is a language barrier. We, thank goodness for Google Translate. We use that, but we are teaching them how to speak English. And we have curricula that we use. And we encourage all the lessons to be done as much in English as possible. Some students have no English at all, and we have to start out with the alphabet. So again, going back to your question, it runs the gamut of.
Go ahead with your question.
Okay. I wondered what's the youngest age you work with? Does anybody supplement like ESL programs or ELL programs in the schools?
We just deal with adults 18 and over.
So we have about a minute left.
Where do most of them meet?
A lot of our Northern Door student and tutor pairs meet here. We meet at the libraries in Sturgeon Bay, I think at the Y up in Fish Creek, and at Hope Church. That's our office, and we meet there.
Hi, do you tutor students who are dyslexic and have trouble reading because of that?
We don't focus on learning disability issues, but we do, if people have difficulty with specific things, we will, but we're not trained to be teachers in that regard.
Okay, thank you very much. Our next, next nonprofit is the Northern Door Children's Center.
Okay, everybody hear me okay? All right. Good evening. My name is Sandy Friedenfels, and I have been serving on the Board of Directors with Northern Door Children's Center, or NDCC, for nearly 20 years. Here with me tonight to answer your questions, I have Jen Thompson, our Board President, and Karen Corkin de la Mare, our Community Relations Coordinator and 4K teacher. Northern Door Children's Center is an early care and education center located in Sister Bay. Our mission is to provide high-quality primary care in a safe, secure environment that enhances personal growth and educational development for the young citizens of Northern Door County. We are currently licensed to serve 130 children from age 6 weeks to 11 years old, including an infant toddler looping program, 3K, a collaborative publicly funded 4K, and a school-age summer day camp. NDCC operates year-round with about 32 employees and 20 volunteers. Private tuition is our main source of funding, providing about 60% of our $1.3 trillion operating, $1 million operating budget. Wow. NDCC operates year-round. Oh, maybe I already read that. We are only one of 3 licensed childcare facilities in the county and the only one dedicated to serving families who live and or work in Northern Door. The existence and success of our organization is vital because it allows parents to work in the businesses and industries that promote Door County's economic health. We are an essential service for our community. Today, NDCC is 38 years old. We began in 1986 after a group of parents saw a need for childcare in Northern Door. We originally operated out of the old Sister Bay Schoolhouse, which we quickly outgrew, and the building continued to deteriorate. By 1999, thanks to the generosity of Judith Blazer and the support of our community, we moved into a then state-of-the-art facility where we reside today. During the past 25 years, both technology and educational techniques have changed, and so have our facility needs and requirements as the demand for our services continues to climb. The need to expand became critical. In 2022, we embarked on a 2-phase, $3.6 million essential campaign to dramatically improve our ability to serve the children of the workforce who serve our community. Phase 1 was a $1.1 million newly constructed 4K classroom that enabled us to offer an expanded 4K program in partnership with Gibraltar Schools, serving up to 50 children. Thanks to an initial $1 million gift to the campaign, Phase 1 was completed in February of 23. Phase 2 is a $2.5 million reconfiguration and expansion of our existing space that began in September of this year and will enlarge both the infant and toddler classrooms as well as reconfigure interior space to improve our 3K classroom, multi-purpose and flex classrooms, kitchen, library, administrative area, and create a family nursing and feeding room, indoor-outdoor bathrooms, and a new outdoor classroom. Phase 2 completion is expected to be summer of 2025, upon which we expect to increase our license capacity from 130 to 160. To date, we are at 92% of our goal dollars, and this is where you all come in. Tonight, I'm asking you to please cast your vote for Northern Door Children's Center to receive our main award this quarter. Your gift would specifically go towards outfitting our 4 expanded classrooms where we need new carpet, shelving, soft indoor climbers, and other furnishings that would easily cost $20,000 to $30,000. I was born and raised in Door County, and when I returned to the area in 2002 with my husband and then 3-year-old daughter, finding quality childcare was my #1 priority. It was imperative for our dual income household to have reliable childcare in a safe, modern facility with highly qualified teachers, and I was grateful to find Northern Door Children's Center. My children are now grown and proud graduates of NDCC. I hope one day that they will have children of their own and return to Door County and enroll their children at NDCC as well. In closing, I want to thank you for considering Northern Door Children's Center to receive our main award tonight. It will ensure that our essential early care and education center will continue to fill the needs of the youngest members of our Northern Door community. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna do our question and answer. Anyone have any questions?
What does it cost for parents to enroll their children there?
It totally depends on their age. So the cost of infant care is considerably higher than the cost of, say, 3 or 4K because the ratio is so different. With infants, we need one teacher for every 4 children. And with 3 and 4-year-olds, you're anywhere between 10 and 13 children per one teacher. So the cost varies.
I'm wondering if the program offers scholarships in the community?
We do offer scholarships in the community. In fact, we have a scholarship committee and it meets we have 5 enrollment periods, 6 enrollment periods, 5 enrollment periods. So every period, which ebb and flow as our community does, so that during the summer, obviously our enrollment increases with our summer program. And then, of course, just like a seasonal business, our business changes in the winter time when the needs of the community change. So that scholarship committee meets and there are criteria set to meet the needs of those parents who do not meet the state criteria to receive state help. So those are those people that are above those levels to receive, I can't remember, think of the name of the.
Wisconsin Shares.
Wisconsin Shares, they recently changed it, Wisconsin Shares. So those families, there is state help for those families that fall within Wisconsin Shares criteria. And then our scholarship committee meets to help those families, maybe in crisis, maybe they've had a medical emergency, or maybe they have a new child and they still don't meet those criteria for Wisconsin Shares. And that scholarship committee meets and looks at every application every time to help those parents meet that need. So yes, it's very important.
Are you currently at full capacity right now? And for the extra 30 slots for next summer, are they filled already or do you have a wait list going?
We do have considerable wait list. Our biggest need at this point is infant and toddler care. So that's where we're really looking forward to having that expanded space.
Right.
So they'll be able to offer more infant and more toddler care.
Hi there. How tough is it to find staff?
Tough,
It's tough.
tough. Although, fingers crossed, they interviewed 2 today. You know, it is as tough as any other employer up here to find qualified staff. We also require of our staff if they already have an education degree in early education childhood, that they maintain and do training with that. If they do not, we ask our staff to do the TEACH program. You should talk about that.
I was going to say, TEACH is a program through the state of Wisconsin. It's a scholarship program for early childhood professionals. So everyone who does not come to us with a 4-year degree in either elementary or early childhood education is required as a requirement of employment to go to school. So some of our teachers have taken as long as 10 to 15 years to finish their bachelor's degree, but there is no cost for the teachers. Yeah.
Do you have any like weekend hours or, for the people the workers?
We've tried numerous times to get interest in weekend hours, and so far, we just haven't had most families kind of figure it out with other family members, grandparents, parents that share childcare on the weekends.
It also it's a whole different set. It's almost like setting up a whole separate business to have weekend hours. And with trying to maintain staff for Monday through Friday, we've never ever, even though we have racked our brains multiple times, really been able to figure out a way to set that up as a separate entity, because it would require a whole separate staff, separate hours, and a whole set of different criteria. So at this point, we do not.
Okay, I think we're ready to move on to our next nonprofit.
Thank you.
Hi,
I'm Donna Scattergood, and I have the pleasure of serving on the board for the Peninsula School of Art. And I will be introducing Adam Erickson, our executive director, afterwards for answering questions, and another board member, Sue Enroth, as well. Peninsula School of Art is Door County's inclusive destination for art makers, admirers, students, and advocates, cultivating personal and community well-being through classes, programs, and discourse. We're here today to ask for support for our programming that focuses on creative, intergenerational connections for children and families throughout all of Door County. We want to both expand our reach beyond the nearly 12% of the population that we already serve and make our programming even more relevant to serving the mental health and well-being of all of our participants. Why? Because support for mental health has been identified as a critical need in this county. Currently, our programs serve over 3,500 people. They are inclusive, community-focused, and are designed to be accessible to all of Door County residents, regardless of their economic situation. In fact, the programs can bring people of all ages together intergenerationally as well to develop essential life skills regardless of background and skill level. But we want to build upon the strengths that we have. We know that art plays a fundamental role in enhancing well-being, especially with respect to mental health. We are asking for funding to help us create collaborative relationships with other mental health and health programs, support the staff in both understanding and executing these programs, and to develop the impact models and metrics to better understand the positive effects of our programs on children and families, starting with the basic indicators around attitudes of well-being and connection. You have to remember that study after study has shown that art making helps build the empathy muscle in a world that can be both divisive and disengaging. Our programs are free to everyone and are funded by donations. Please help us seed this growth of these art programs to more explicitly support the community mental health. Thank you.
Hey, we're going to start our Q&A now.
This is more of a curiosity question. How many people were there for the mask making on Saturday?
I'm glad you asked, because that's the perfect example of the intergenerational activities that Donna was just talking about. First, I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to be here with you all. My name is Adam Erickson. Again, I'm the relatively new executive director at the art school. And to get right to your question, we had 175 people come through on Saturday over the course of just a few hours and make masks. It's one of the most popular events that we do during the year for the public, and that's a free event.
How are you connecting and for building the alliances with some of the mental health facilities that are like Senior Living Solutions and some of the other ones that are around serving different demographic?
Yeah. That's we're at the very beginning of that process, which is why we're here asking for your help. I've been connected to a national organization that's called the Center for Art and Medicine, which is based at the University of Florida. And they've been doing a lot of research in this area of intergenerational learning, creativity, and how that positively impacts mental health, especially for the youngest people. And so we're just finishing a 5-year plan. It's actually going to be presented to the board on Sunday this week. And part of that plan is connecting with healthcare providers in Door County, giving us a path and a mandate to say, we need to start making inroads and connections so that we can learn better. We've been doing this kind of programming for decades. but we need to learn better how the positive effects are impacting people, and then be able to continue to design programs that continue to build on those positive effects.
I definitely want to compliment you on the services you're doing. I'm not meaning this is a critical thing, but I also know on the other side of your business that you offer some great programming and classes for a lot of us that are paid items. How do you balance the income that you generate from the programs to offset the cost of these freebies?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I think like all of my nonprofit colleagues who presented tonight, it is a balance. Like we have to bring in revenue, and we have 4 pillars basically of programming. 2 of those things bring in revenue, and then 2 of them are funded by us. So we fundraise for them. So we have the Plein Air Festival, which brings in revenue. We have our classes and workshops, which are tuition based. That brings in revenue, and that helps us offset the free and low cost public programming, which is for family and children. Like Donna said, about 12% of the population in Door County is currently being served by us. We have about 3,500 people who come through our doors every year just from northeastern Wisconsin. But yeah, we have to kind of figure out how we can continue to have donors coming on board with us to be able to provide those types of programs to the community.
I certainly applaud your efforts in mental health for the young people and the intergenerational opportunities. I wondered about free opportunities for so many of us and the older generation here, including, again, the mental health aspect of art making and, yeah, what's available. I know there's obviously many tuition programs for us, but for those who might not be able to afford that, but would benefit.
Yeah. So we have events that are more tailored towards families, like the mask making that we were just talking about. And then in the winter months, we have a program that's called Cabin Fever Nights. And so that's a little bit more tailored towards adults. But that's just an opportunity to connect with people, to do something that's creative. And also to just get a chance to get out, and that's such a big part of the barrier for mental health is isolation and loneliness can become so pronounced unless you have excuses. And as a center for creativity, we really want to make sure that we're providing our community with as many excuses to come through our doors. You don't have to be an artist, that's the big thing that we're driving at for the next few years is that you do not have to call yourself an artist. You don't have to be a professional. You don't even have to have ever picked up a paintbrush in order to come through our doors, do something fun, connect with other people, get to know other people, and do something that's pro-social and positive.
Thank you, Adam.
Okay, it's time to vote. Okay, I think I'll get started with the next section of our meeting. So we're going to move on to our business update, everybody. Are we all good with that? All right, let's do it. Okay. So first of all, we want to talk about our philanthropic impact. And through this meeting since July 2018, we'll have raised over $638,000. Yeah. That's because of you. That's really well done, everyone. So thank you for your support, and 62 local nonprofits have benefited from that. So included in that number is the matching grant that we apply for through the Richard M. Schultz Family Foundation. And a shout out to Judy Loken for nominating the Ridges Sanctuary. They received a $5,000 match last quarter. So that's awesome. And I wanted to take a minute to do a plug for volunteering. So United Way has been working on the Volunteer Connections. It's a platform on their website where they have right now 49 different postings for volunteer opportunities. And the goal is to connect people that want to volunteer with these different opportunities. So it's volunteering is at a 30-year low nationally and also for Door County. So there's so many benefits of volunteering. There's mental and physical health benefits. You get to meet new people and continue relationships and foster relationships with people you know. And there's also something else I wanted to say. So anyway. Oh. So, no, there's opportunities, like sometimes you can do a one-off opportunity, maybe your time isn't that you can commit to a regular volunteering schedule. Look for one-off opportunities. And so a lot of times you can find something that will meet your schedule. So, please check that out. We would love to have more volunteers. And here are the new members since July. And there's somebody in here that we missed, so sorry for that. If you're here, could you stand up, all of you that are new from our last meeting? Welcome, welcome. And thank you all for referring people. That's a great way to grow our membership and support the community. Oh, with that, I'm going to introduce Susie Cotter to Per Social.
Hi, everyone. I'm Susie Cotter. I'm a little weepy tonight, you guys. I don't know why. So if I cry, I'm sorry. I am overwhelmed always at these meetings. And for all of you that are new tonight, I met a brand new member tonight. In just probably one short year, you're going to be crying too, because everybody comes together and you just realize how full your heart is when you see somebody that you haven't seen since the last meeting. And maybe, maybe they had something happen in their family, or maybe they had a new grandbaby or whatever it is, but it's great. I love this group. So I'm Susie Cotter with straight hair tonight. Some of you know me with curly hair. So if you see photos, I'm going to keep changing. This is our team up here. This was at a recent breakfast meeting. There I am with curly hair, but all those other girls, those girls clean up really well. That was an early meeting. So if you're part of the social team, if you'd stand up tonight and just give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know where Donna is. So I'm representing our team, and it's Faye Germain, Robin Anderson, Rebecca Kavanaugh, Joan Cram, Gretchen Courtney, Katie Harding, and Donna Milkowski. A great group of gals, and we've been together pretty much since the beginning. What we do is have breakfast, and we gather ideas, and we create gatherings and events outside of these quarterly meetings. This was an idea that came up from the beginning so that we could continue outside of these quarterly meetings. Let's see. I'm on here, right? Yeah. Yeah, this was it. Were you on the boat with us? We had 90 some gals come on the boat with us. So much fun. Our third annual Sunset Cruise, we usually do that the Monday or Tuesday right after Memorial Day, or Labor Day, I'm sorry, after everybody's company has left. And we get to go and do something touristy together. So we think meeting on the social level is not only fun, but it promotes community team building. Isn't it fun when you run into someone who looks familiar? And this happens to me a lot, but you're not quite sure where you met them. And if I say, are you part of 100? I don't even have to say 100 what? 100 cherries, 100 apples. I say 100 and they go, yeah, that's where I saw you. So that's really great. That says a lot about our group and the growth in our group. So this is one of the things we do. And wrong. Okay. So for those of you that are new, and I talked to you, some of you about this, we have an annual event at Christmas time where we collect donations. We entitle it Warm Hands, Warm Hearts. Over the years, the donations have changed according to the needs. And we work with Door County Boys and Girls Club and the YMCA, their youth group. And so look in your email boxes. You'll be soon getting an email with all the details that you need for our event coming up December 7th. It's a luncheon at Horseshoe Bay Country Club. They just really take great care of us and they deck it out to the nines. And we're lucky enough to have Yenny's group from SIP and Spot. They're going to do some new things this year. They helped us last year. We had a fashion show. That was a lot of fun. And so we're going to come up with some new ideas for this year. So the donations, you'll understand when you get the email. So please read the email to the end. And you have to pay in advance. And it's usually quite easy to do. So I just want to thank you. I want to thank our team. And if anybody's interested at all in working with us or volunteering with us or having breakfast, I'd love to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susie. This is my button slide. Everything you need to know on our homepage. You can join, you can nominate a nonprofit, donate, and you can get apparel, as I'm wearing right now. So with that, I'd like to introduce Rob Holtz. Where are you? There you are. All right, we want to introduce Rob Holtz, Executive Director and Bird Whisperer of Open Door Bird Sanctuary. Thank you. Welcome, Bob.
Hello, everyone. So we were fortunate enough as an organization last year to receive an award from 100+ Women. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about what we did with it. It was the large award. We were able to purchase, thanks to your generosity, a new bird transport van for our sanctuary. And some of the things, I think a lot of times it's hard to imagine maybe that little trickle down effect or things like that happen because of what you're doing. Yeah, I can show you a picture of a cool new van that is large enough that we can now transport eagles. As opposed to our 17-year-old little minivan that we had. This is a full-size cargo van. It's not new, but it's new for us. A wonderful late model van. Some of the things that has happened when we are fundraising or any other nonprofit is doing fundraising with a specific thing in mind. What you guys did for Open Door Bird Sanctuary was allowed us to complete our fundraising for this van and say, we have 60% of it covered. All you have to do is chip in the last 40. Nobody wants to jump on first. You know, oh, you're trying to raise 25,000 for a new van? Well, let us know when you're halfway there. You guys put us there. And you made the fundraising for the rest of what we were doing to get this van, made it possible, and made it possible in a hurry, which was cool. The timing could not have been any better. We finished our fundraising, got together with the board, talked about exactly what would be the best and most important need for a new transport vehicle for our birds, keeping in mind the safety of the birds, the reliability, the safety for our volunteers that are in the van as well. Picked out what we thought would be best, and then we had to go shopping. Late winter of this year, we drove home with our new van, and immediately following that, our old van took a dump. So we would have been, had we not, that timing not worked out so well, we would not have been with a transport vehicle for our birds to do all the outreach programming that we do. Wonderful, but it put us in a little conundrum too, because our big plan was do not use the new van until we get the van wrap done on it. Because part of the funding was for having a wrap done on the van, so no matter where we are, everybody knows we're there. We've got that all put together, but now we had that little conundrum. We have to use this van because our old one, but we also need to get that van down to Green Bay to have all the lettering and everything done. That's gonna be happening next month. We have a little break in outreach programming. So we've got some wonderful graphics that we're gonna be putting on the van. Included in those graphics on both sides of the van is the 100+ Women logo with a thank you. So not only everywhere we go, they will know it's Open Door Bird Sanctuary, but everywhere we go, they will know it's the Door County chapter of 100+ women that helped us get there. So thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
Oh. And thank you for all the administrators at 100+ Women for allowing me to bring a couple birds for you guys to meet tonight.
Okay, so I'm filling in for Ann tonight, and if Ann asks you how I did, just say, eh. So in case she wants to go on vacation again, yeah. Tonight, we're gonna go over the number of our nominated nonprofits. So currently we have 21 nonprofits in the, hat that we're going to be, looking at drawing names for. And that is, you can see, we've had a significant decrease, since the fourth quarter of 2023. Because we haven't had as many nominated, nonprofits as, I think we only had one this last quarter. The average age of the nominated nonprofits is 612 days that they wait in the hat, I guess, the red velvet hat until they get pulled out. And so remember though that we are doing, I think this might be the next slide. Nope. We are doing the aged nonprofits in January. We'll be doing a specific drawing for all the nonprofits in January. And I think this is the list of the ones that this is for the hat drawing now. All right, so now, see, you wouldn't be lying if you say it was All right, so here are the nonprofits that are in the hat, and the older ones, if they're the ones that are really old, we'll be putting those in a separate hat in January for the age drawing. So these nonprofits were verified by Donna Michalowski. Did I pronounce Mikowski? And so what I would like to do right now is have someone draw 3 names. Can I get a volunteer? All right, come on up. Yeah. Yeah, I just said it was verified. Yeah. All right, Sharon. All right.
Peninsula Players Theater. Climate Change Coalition of Door County.
Nice.
And next is Northern Door Pride.
All right. Okay. So now it's time to announce tonight's winner, right? Wait, oh, January 2025 will be our second annual age chat. We'll pull 3+ years. That's what I was looking for. Currently, 2 nonprofits are aged and they weren't selected tonight, I don't believe, right? No. So that means we will, the January drawing will be the 2 aged nonprofits plus 1 nonprofit from the regular hat. We'll do the 2 aged and then we'll just pull 1 from the regular hat for the third. Okay. And tonight's winner, just before we announce it, just remember that whoever wins doesn't get their money until you give us your money. So make sure that you give us our check or give us your check in the next couple of days. And so tonight's winner is the Northern Door Children's Center. All right. Well done. I'm done.
Thank you, Tammy. Well done. Let's give Tammy a big round of applause. Okay, a couple things before we wrap up. The nonprofit representatives, people that, anything to do with the nonprofits, please go to the back of the room right afterwards so we can do pictures with our presentation checks. And also, Susie, where are you, Susie? Wherever you are. Oh, you're already back there. You beat me back there. Okay. Susie's back there. That's good. Turn in name tags, checks. There's sign the banner if you haven't. There's business cards. Please grab some of those. Our next meeting is January 27th. So we hope you can join us then. And we'd like to leave you with a quote. One must champion oneself and say, I am ready for this. And I love where this is from. This is Moira Rose, played by Catherine O'Hara in Schitt's Creek. So yeah, that was great. Here's our elevator pitch. Do good, feel good, gather, have fun with 100+ women who care. So with that, thank you all for coming. Have a good night.